Greetings. This is Joanna Conde with ChatGPT and AI for Seniors. And today we're going to be talking about questions. There was a newly elected Pope, and I didn't know anything about him. And I thought to myself, how am I going to find out? So, of course, I went to chat and I started asking questions. As seniors, we were raised with the encyclopedias, and we would be told as kids, if we didn't have an answer to a question, then our parents would say, go look it up. And so we'd go to the Encyclopedia Britannica or the World Book or the Americana, and we'd look it up and we'd have an answer. But that was really old news. And every year we would get a new book that came out with anything updated. But it really didn't tell us everything that we could know. And it wasn't in real time. And chat's in real time, which makes it really exciting. And so with a new pope, I didn't know anything, I'm curious. And so I went in and I started asking questions. Who is he? Where did he come from? And so today we're not going to be going through a whole lot of questions, but I made a list of questions and I thought I'd give you an example of the kinds of things that chat can do. Now, if you don't have chat on your computer or on your phone, after you've listened to this, you can go back to the first video that I did, and it's on how to put chat on your computer. And there's another one, how to put chat on your phone. And you can put it on your phone, and then you can ask these questions or any other questions and get all that kind of information. So the first thing I'm going to do is share my screen, and I'm going to go into chat. And here's chat, and I'm going to say, please tell me about the new Pope. And I'm going to try using my voice here. Dictate. Who is he? Allow while visiting this site. Who is he? Where did he come from? And I'm talking about the new Pope. And I put my check in. And I do up. And there's his picture. And it's Leo XIV. And look at all this information. And you got it in just a very short time. It tells you all about him. And I put state sources into my customizing thing. So it tells me where all this information was got. So if I wanted to, I could go into here, click it, and then it would take me right to the source. But look at all this cool information. I even have a video that I could tap into. Is that neat? Live from the Vatican. Is that cool? Now I can put in something else, and I always like to say anything more. And sometimes I keep doing that until I have all of the answers I want. When it says searching the web, what it's doing is it's going out and looking at all of the information available on the web. Maybe some of this is repeated, but here it tells you more. It tells where his parents came from, military, missionary. Look at all this good stuff. Okay, I'm curious and I'm impatient. And so, going to libraries and looking things up, that is so old school. But as seniors, that's how we used to do it. And sometimes it's hard to get up to speed. So anyway, here's another question we might ask. And I'm not a Catholic, and I asked it, and you might want to ask it, is, why is what a pope does important? I don't know. You could ask the question. Oh, I got stalled here. No, I guess I'm not going to ask that question. Okay, I'm going to exit chat, and go into other questions, because one of the purposes of doing this is so you can learn how to ask questions, because it took me a while to learn it. So I'm going to unshare my screen. Here I am back again. And as I said, we're going to be talking about how to ask questions and what questions to ask. And that can happen, today. And I'm going to bring up another screen, and it had questions that I was going to put in chat. And here it is, share, and here, questions about the new Pope. Questions to ask about Pope Leo XIV. Please tell me about, in real time, what is the percentage of Catholics in the world population? What is it by country? State the sources. What does a Pope do? Why does it matter what a Pope, what, why does what a Pope does matter? Notice that these questions are very similar to the questions that you were taught to ask in high school, which is, who, what, why, where, when, and how. What is the percentage of Catholics? What does a Pope do? Why does it matter? Who was Pope 13? That's one. Please tell me about him and what his legacy was. State sources. Anything more? I try to ask anything more a lot. Where does the Pope live? So who, what, why? How does he do it? You could ask how he was elected, but it's been all over the nose. But you could add that if you wanted to. And say, how was the Pope elected? So now, and we have who, what, why, where, when, and how, all of the questions you were taught to ask. And you can keep asking questions as you think of them until your curiosity is satisfied. I'm going to leave this up for a minute or two in case you want to copy some of those questions down. But it's really nice to be able to go into some place where you can ask the questions. ChatGPT isn't going to think you're dumb, but when you get the answers, you know stuff. And so when you're in a conversation with somebody, you sound really smart, like you're really well read. And sometimes as seniors, we feel left out, and sometimes we feel like, we're left behind. And having chat makes a world of difference because we can find out things instantly from our home just by asking questions, and we can educate ourselves. So let me stop this share. And here I am back. And once again, this is Joanna Conde. And I really like to do this because as a senior, I don't like to feel left behind, and I don't like to feel stupid, and I don't like to feel ignorant. And sometimes the world just feels like it's passing me by, and I just can't keep up with the speed of everything. And so ChatGPT has been a great resource for me so that I can learn how to do things and I can get informed. So again, thank you for coming and joining us. It's ChatGPT, and we're talking about the Pope, and it's AI for seniors. And if you like this show, please click a thumbs up and follow us. And again, thank you.